So I was thinking about the MCU the other day, and I came to a realization. After watching the train wreck that was the Eternals, I realized Avengers Age of Ultron isn't that bad, by comparison. Eternals is a 300-pound fat kid belly flopping off the high dive, and Ultron is only a 150-pound fat kid. Don't get me wrong, Ultron was a 250-pound fat kid of its time, and the first Thor movies were 300-pound fat kids. However, things have now shifted. These movies haven't gotten better, the issues are just smaller by comparison, with a little bit of nostalgia sprinkled on top. However, this is a science channel, and that's not what this video is about. All of this thinking about the Age of Ultron had me examining Ultron's plan to wipe out humanity. I realized, even with the suspension of disbelief necessary to consume fictional content, Ultron's plan is stupid, and I'll explain why after my intro. Hey there, YouTubers! My beef with Ultron's plan is not actually about him wanting to wipe out humanity. I actually see his point. Climate change, microplastics, the constant threat of nuclear winter, and the easy ways for the complete economic collapse of the world economy are just a few examples of wanting to start over. So to hell with humanity. Let's get rid of us. I can already hear your fingers clicking about your keyboards to leave comments. To quote you, Ultron couldn't use nukes. If you actually watched the movie, you would know Jarvis locked him out. End quote. I know. I have seen the movie many times. Originally, I was going to say Ultron going for nukes was a bad idea because I thought there weren't enough nukes to actually wipe out life. However, according to a study from the early 2000s, it would only take 50 Hiroshima-sized bombs to do the trick, which is probably a far cry from the amount that would actually be used, and the yields would be much higher too. This wasn't my only gripe with his plan to use nukes. I thought they would be too slow for his liking. Ultron was obsessed with getting Doomsday done relatively quickly. My evidence to support this hypothesis is his asteroid method, and I'll talk about how he could use a different asteroid method to wipe out life that would have a higher chance of working in exchange for it taking a bit more time, but that's later on in the video. The main point I'm trying to make is that nukes and asteroids wipe out life in similar ways. When a nuke goes off or an asteroid impacts the Earth, a large amount of dust will be released into the atmosphere. Nukes have the added benefit of burning cities, which adds smoke along with dust into the atmosphere. This has a global cooling effect by blocking out sunlight. In the case of an asteroid, this could cause an ice age if it's big enough. This is where the similarities between nuclear weapons and an asteroid end. Remember, those burning cities I mentioned earlier, well, those produce lots of CO2, and after the dust settles in 1 to 3 years, global temperatures are going to rise due to the greenhouse effect. That 1 to 3 years estimate is from a study that I had mentioned earlier. It's possible a more realistic nuclear war caused that settling time to take longer. Not so long that the CO2 would be pulled back out of the atmosphere by natural processes, but just longer than 1 to 3 years. Once the dust settles, the planet will unthaw, which will cause the dead corpses left in all the cities to decompose and release methane. This, combined with CO2 in the atmosphere, will cause a massive and rapid heating effect. The heating will kill off any remaining life that survived the less sunlight, cooler temperatures, and radiation. Speaking of radiation, this brings me to my last gripe with nukes. Radiation isn't just dangerous to humans, but to computers as well. Now I can hear you complaining away, machines can't get cancer. And you'd be correct, but still wrong. Radiation can affect computers by causing something called a bit flip. This is what happens when a transistor is hit by a charged particle that causes it to be read as a 1 instead of a 0, or vice versa. This kind of event can be prevented by proper shielding. However, this is a reference to normal background radiation and cosmic ray interference. In a post-nuclear war world, radiation levels are going to be elevated for decades or possibly centuries. This is going to cause tons of issues for Ultron and his drones. For more info on the subject of bit flips, watch Vertasium's video, link in the description. Now, maybe Ultron had the proper shielding, or maybe he got caught up in whether he could, he didn't ask whether he should. That's also not an important part of the movie, so why mention a detail like that? With everything I've mentioned before, why do I still have issues with Ultron's method for Doomsday? Well, because he pulled a city out of the ground to use it as an asteroid! That's a lot of effort! Why did he do that when he could have just flown into outer space and redirected an actual asteroid? How do I know this would have worked? Well, relatively recently, NASA tested their DART mission. They slammed an asteroid with a satellite to see if it would change its course. And it worked. And this was done with today's technology. Ultron clearly had much more advanced technology at his disposal. He was able to lift a city into the sky. This seems like a lot more effort than stealing some stealth tech to hide his asteroid as it approached Earth. I don't know. Maybe Ultron did think about this option and wanted it to happen in a matter of days compared to the months or even years that it might take mine. Also possible that he thought the Avengers wouldn't be able to stop him. He did have Tony's ego after all. So he went for the faster, less safe option, even though I think it could have taken decades to build the infrastructure necessary to lift the city. But what do I know? It's fiction. Also, the city did not look like it was 60 miles wide, which is the size an asteroid needs to be to wipe out all life on Earth, but maybe he made the density of the city much greater. Maybe he got it going much faster than an asteroid, which all seems like a stupid way. So much more effort. Why? What do you guys think? Leave a comment below for other options he could have used. And in the meantime, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New videos once a month or whenever I feel like it. 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. Central Time, Saturdays, I guess. And good night.
Subs for trees. Subs for trees. Subs for trees. Subs for trees. Oh, you're still here? I thought I told you to go home. Oh, you want more? I'm flattered. Check out the playlist. If you want exclusive content, check out my Instagram, Dr_Sheep_YouTube. That's all lowercase. If you want to help the earth, subscribe. When I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to plant 10 trees. If you feel that's too small, then check out my channel chart where I lay out even bigger goals. Finally, stick around for the next 20 seconds to give me that sweet watch time. Bye.